Hey, it's Quazimotoe. Back at you again with another character discussion. Today we're going to talk about Doomfist, one of the new additions in Overwatch. Let's go through his abilities first. He has a passive ability called the Best Defense. It's a shield generation ability. He has his primary weapon, which is the hand cannon. Shoots shotgun type projectiles. He has Seismic Slam, which is an ability where he slams into the ground from the air or from standing. He has Rising Uppercut, which he can knock enemies into the air with. And he also has a chargeable ability called the Rocket Punch, and it launches him in a horizontal fashion across the ground, or whether he's in the air, it still goes horizontal. His ultimate is Meteor Strike, where he launches himself into the air, and then you pick your destination to fall down and deal damage. Now let's talk about each individual ability. His passive ability gives you plus 30 barrier anytime you use one of your special abilities. So it gives you 30 barrier up to a maximum of 150. You get 75 barrier when you land an ultimate on something. Your hand cannon is, like I said, the shotgun projectile. It's mainly used as a finisher move to finish off after you've used the Seismic Slam, the Uppercut, or the Rocket Punch, or a Meteor Strike. You're not very good at long range or medium range. He's more of an up close kind of character, so be mindful of that. The Seismic Slam is good for mobility. It does about 11 to 125 damage depending on the time spent in the air during the slam. So you get, once you reach terminal velocity, that increases your damage. Max range is 7 meters, and it's got a cooldown of 7 seconds. You have your Rising Uppercut, which can launch enemies into the air in front of you. It does 50 damage, and it's good to use in creating combos. So you uppercut, use a Seismic Slam to knock him to the ground, and do a Rocket Punch to him following up. So you chain your combos to get more damage and increase your barrier. It's also good with the Rising Uppercut and the Seismic Slam. You can use them to get around really fast or to get to ledges and high places. The Rising Uppercut can launch you pretty high up, and then you can use the Seismic Slam or the Rocket Punch to get to otherwise inaccessible area. The Rocket Punch is his third ability, and it is the chargeable one. Like I said, the longer you hold it, the further he travels. Its damage is 49 to 100, depending on how long you charge it. And if you get a wall impact, it increases the maximum damage by 50, so 150. Its maximum range is anywhere from 9 to 23 meters, depending on how long you charge again. It has a casting time of 1 second and a cooldown of 4 seconds. The Rising Uppercut, if I didn't mention, has a cooldown of 7 seconds. And then your ultimate, which is pretty awesome to use, the Meteor Strike. So as you launch into the air, you have a 300 at the epicenter and then 0 to 300 in the outer circle. So that's your damage on it. The area of effect is approximately 7 meters, cast time's 1 second, duration 4 seconds. So you can be in the air picking your location for up to 4 seconds. Now that we discussed all his abilities, let's talk about the strategies with Doomfist. Since he is a high mobility character and a close combat fighter, he's good for flanking and drawing out people, and then protecting the tanks in close quarters. So it's really good for that. Rocket Punch is his signature ability. It can eliminate, targets with low health pools really easily, but he is not a character who can fight out in the open. So be mindful of your sniper locations or any character who does high damage in or medium to long range. With his high mobility, though, it is good to use him to get to sniper spots if you're flanking them and they don't know you're coming. Be mindful of the Rocket Punch, because they can hear you charging that, and people will get out of the way as you're charging it up. So if you can disengage with the combo and then recharge it really quickly, that's beneficial. So general strategies with him: he can one-shot most of the lower health pool people, but it's really risky to do so. With the landed Seismic Slam into a Rising Uppercut, is more reliable and does a combined 100 damage. It requires only 2 interwoven hand cannon shots right after to realistically finish off a 200 hit point hero. That'll allow you for the Rocket Punch to be used as an escape to get out of the situation. Amongst most tanks, the Rocket Punch can be added to the end of the combo to knock them away or finish them off, depending on the availability of the walls around, what your situation is in your area that you're flanking or striking or attacking. That combo can do a substantial amount of damage if the Seismic Slam is initiated at a higher altitude. So use your uppercut to get up in the air or come off of a balcony or something. You can do more damage so up to 75 damage, requiring only one more hand cannon shot after that to finish off a 200 hit point hero, just to get that kill in, eliminate the enemy. When you use the high altitude seismic slam, it's better to try and estimate where Doomfist will land instead of where the cone will be. The cone can be re-aimed, but Doomfist's trajectory cannot. So you want to launch up and then be mindful of where you're going to land at. Practice it a couple times in the training and whatnot to get your positioning right for your ultimate. Engaging with a one-shot rocket punch kill should be reserved for opponents who can, disrupt the seismic slam, your uppercut, and your hand cannon shots. These opponents are the one-shot worthy opponents. They can one-shot you. Anna McCree, as you use your cooldowns, it gives them a free stun. May, because she can freeze you after you use all your cooldowns. Reaper, who might kill you first just because he has a little bit better range and he's a high damage output. Sombra, Mora, Tracer, and Widow, who can all slip away mid-combo when you're trying to combo some hits. There's also a few enemies you should avoid. Absent favorable conditions, avoid at all costs. Roadhog, your combo is not enough to kill him outright. He can heal in between your abilities. And if you want to escape, he can still use your chain, pull you back, and you'll have no more ways to escape. And Bastion cannot be moved in his turret mode if he's rooted. And it's pretty uncomfortable to encounter Bastion if he's in turret mode when you're Doomfist. So be mindful of that. Widow, Hanzo, and McCree, they can all take you out on open ground because they have medium to long range shots, and you won't be able to close the gap before they eliminate you. And like I said earlier, if you can cancel out your rocket punch, don't be afraid to. The charge up sounds loud, and clever players will get out of the way before you can use it on them. You can also re-engage with the SS Rush combo after you cancel if you're going against like a 200 hit point hero. Remember that Rising Uppercut has a slight backwards push, so you can use it for pushing off the stage or over walls in the right situations. As an escape, Seismic Slam is best after Rising Uppercut, so you get that high altitude with the forward leap. Jumping while releasing a rocket punch will cause you to move horizontally. Like I said before, it's on the ground or in the air, you move straight horizontal. And that's good for catching Pharah who can fly or getting to a high point with the sniper. Remember that rocket punch can be used to knock players off stage, that you can recover easily if you hit Rising Uppercut soon enough. So you can punch them, use your uppercut to push yourself backwards a little bit. Push yourself backwards to get back on the stage. Meteor Strike's a hard counter to McCree's Deadeye, Reaper's Death Blossom, Hanzo's Dragon, and Mora's Beam. When you hear their sound cues, hit the Meteor Strike for an easy kill. Don't use Meteor Strike on Roadhog. Doesn't kill him because he has more than 300 health. And sometimes it's necessary to use Rocket Punch to run away. It's alright, we've all been there. You're in a tight spot, you want to escape to survive, and find your healers, regroup with your tanks, and just live to fight another battle. So those are your general strategies. Remember, he is a high mobility. He's good in close quarters. He's good for protecting tanks and healers. He's not good against snipers. He is highly mobile, though, so he can close the gap in non-open areas. And the hallways and corridors is a good place to close the gap. He can also get to ledges, so he can take out the snipers pretty easily. So just learn his abilities, when to use them, how to use them, and you'll be good to go. Again, this was Quazimotoe with Good Game Fun Time. Another character discussion in Overwatch. I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you so much for watching the channel. Hope you enjoyed the video. You can go ahead and click on the right to subscribe and on the left for another video to watch. Hope you enjoyed the content. Hope you stop by again. I greatly appreciate the support. And as always, happy gaming!